So I'm moving the chicken fence back here into the woods, and then we'll be able to put our greenhouse out there in the sunlight. Today I am burning all my debris. I had a huge debris pile 5 feet tall here, and I'm burning it down. I'm going around and mowing a path to put the fence around the edges of this area, and it'll go off into that thick of the woods and come back out to where their houses are. If I was standing in a little kiddie pool, I could probably fill it full of sweat. I'm just constantly dripping from standing next to this fire. It's not too bad of a day, but standing next to that fire, it is warm. The fence was over here, out across the yard there. Now we've wrapped it into the woods. Still got my fire burning. I'm trying to get rid of some of that wood. And while I'm sitting here, I thought I'd take a look at our best looking rooster. He doesn't pull the feathers out of his hens like the other roosters do. Thing's almost as big around as my finger. I'm just filming for my YouTube, not. We got our countertop replaced, which we were not looking forward to, except that we did want our countertop to be nice and new. Right here at the corner of the stove, there was a crack coming out and curving around. When they took the old slab outside and dropped it on the ground, the crack just shot out across to the side of the slab. So eventually it probably would have done that in here, where we just get a crack going longer and longer and longer. But after having people come out for 2 or 3 visits and looking at it and talking about it, they wanted to say that the stove was too hot and that's what was causing it. But I've got a little laser thermometer, which if you've seen the colloidal gold videos, you've seen me using that. And I checked the temperature with the oven running on this side, and it was like 75, and on this side it was about 80 degrees. So no, it wasn't the stove. Once I did that, then they were like, oh, okay, of course it's not the stove. So they eventually told me, no, there's nothing wrong with the material or anything, but we're gonna go ahead and redo it anyway. The reason I say all that about kind of going round and round about it a little bit is because people need to do that. If you have something that you know is not right, take a stand and and just have them tell you no more than once if they're going to tell you no. And if they, in this case, they finally said, no, but we'll go ahead and replace it. So the result is good. I was also very happy with every person I worked with. All of them were very polite and did a good job, good quality job, especially these guys today. And the guy that came out to evaluate was always a very pleasant person to work with. After I got this much done the other day, I already knew my length, so I ordered my metal. So I've already got my metal. I picked it up yesterday, and my trim pieces. So now I just need to finish framing this thing so I can put my metal on. And I need to keep my grass watered. By the barn, these chickens have had a fence that actually came all the way out to where I'm standing now. But the other day, I spent time in the woods behind here moving their fence so that they can go up into the woods. We're gonna build a greenhouse here, so I needed to get them out of the way. Up here, now they can go into the woods here. So this was an all-day project. And over here, I had a big pile of debris, which we I burned this pile of debris, but there must have been poison ivy underneath it or something, because I've been breaking out all over my arms and legs and just all over my body. So ever since I was in the Boy Scouts, I've told people, don't burn poison ivy. You can breathe it and it'll go throughout your system. And finally, I think I've done it myself. Also, I knew that this area had some chiggers. So I look like I have measles on just my feet from just the area where my socks would be. I probably have 50 chigger bites just on my feet alone. Say about that? I had told you before that down in the woods here, we're going to save elderberry bushes as we come across them, because they're already there, they're already mature, they're huge bushes that we can just prune them and get a good crop. Well, these are muscadine vines, and I think as I go along, the woods are slam full. I could have a vineyard if I saved all of these. The whole property could just be a big vineyard. But you can see, I hope you can see, oh, that one fell, but there's fruit up here. Let me see if there's some that I can reach. There's a pretty good looking one there. Oh. It's almost ready, not quite. So I think some of these vines, I'm going to save them as we go along, and we will have some natural muscadine that's producing. I did plant a brand new muscadine up at the house, but saving some of these wild ones will give us a head start. Well, I started working on the roof, and then was talking to a friend who is building a picnic shelter, and they were just getting started. So I went over there. He asked me if I could help them with it, and so I went over there and checked on what they were doing and ended up staying all day and helping out. So we had a lot of fun. We didn't build the whole thing, but we got the main frame of it up and just need to start working on trusses now. So I'm back home today working on our back porch covering. I've got all the sheep moved and the chickens moved and the front yard chickens moved. So now I can focus on getting back on this roof. I think it came out looking pretty good. This canopy right here doesn't look very good, but we don't know what happened to our watermelons, and it's like the sun is too harsh. So we're shading our watermelon vines, but it doesn't seem to be helping. I like it adds a dimension to this big giant flat side of the house. And it'll give us a place where we can take our shoes off if it's raining or something like that. And we've got a place we can stand and, you know, take off muddy boots. I've got a shoe brush that I'm gonna mount to the concrete out here. We might have a little place to make a little workbench shelf or something right here. Maybe moving the planter over there, because we can't really put benches or countertops in front of the window. After we get some more critical projects done, I'll come back out and stain it. But also the barn needs staining. So we've got a ways to go on some of that.